actually planned to start TikTok. It was the first lockdown that brought me to the platform. One of those apps, like any other social media that you do download. And I remember opening the app up, and the first person who I did see is Charlie D'Amelio. I'd never heard of her before until opening TikTok up. And I never had a lot of confidence to begin with, was always one of those to put my videos on private. And I think it was only in the last 5 months, really, that I've started creating my own skits. And obviously, unexpectedly, some of them did do very well. And here I am today.
So, I mean, do you think it was the right time to set up your account? You know, in the first lockdown, nobody knew what was going to happen with the, the coronavirus rampant across our country. We didn't know exactly, what was going to happen in the future. So did TikTok provide you with that sort of, entertainment and get your mind off what was going on outside of your sort of circle, your area?
Yes, most definitely. Obviously, being stuck at home, I wasn't working myself, and TikTok, it became an income for me as well. And not only that, but privileged really to have so many kind comments and my followers giving me good such ideas for me to do. And it really did keep me busy, and it still does today.
So did you know anything about the app prior to joining?
Not really, no. It was just one of those things that a few of my friends had downloaded, and they was like, Davina, you need to check it out. And obviously, since downloading, I would never go back. Honestly, it's a good job I did download it.
So no regrets?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Brilliant. So, I mean, talk me through the first month of having TikTok. What exactly happened? Tell me about the first skit that you ever did. What was your sort of planning stages for that skit? And, how did you want yourself to be perceived by the TikTok faithful? How did you feel that you want to put yourself out there, but how would you go about doing it?
So obviously, when I first did start, I never thought it would become such a big thing that it is in my life at the moment. And like I said, a lot of them was private, and there was so much negativity. People were stuck at home. And I think with the skits, as they're so relatable, and it happens especially in the UK with like the UK mother and relatable situations. It was one of the videos, I think it was a food tech video, and I think in like one day it reached, I think it was 2 million, and that was the kind of opening for me. And like I said, about so many different comments, and I'm very lucky to not have any negative comments. And I think because not try and be somebody you're not, it is how it is with me. Yeah.
So you mentioned you kept your videos private for the start.
I did, yeah.
I mean, tell me more about that. Was it the fact that there was negativity that came out of TikTok? Was that kind of stopping you from, showcasing yourself to the wider audience? Or was it something else? Was it just a confidence issue at the start that you felt, now is not the time to show myself, I'd rather just keep them private just to get used to the app?
I think I had seen with like all the other platforms, there is, you do get negative comments and haters. And a lot of people did tell me you need to be so careful of what you do, what content you do make, and what you do put on TikTok. And I always did put my videos in private, and that's because I was never such like a confident person. But I think with so many positive comments that I have had, it has really brought it out of me with the confidence. And I think that's been a massive part of the app,
It's really interesting you say that, because the fact, once you post something on social media, you don't know how you're going to be perceived.
Exactly.
And that's the scary thing. You can feel like you're doing the most, right thing in the world, but to somebody else, it could be perceived as wrong, and then they unleash. Even though they don't really have the right. Yes, you can express an opinion, but there's no need to go about it in a negative way, is there?
Definitely. And I think that's the thing with the Dramatic Mother series that I have doing. It's one of those things that happens all the time, in more of a comedy form. There's no like rights or negativity you could possibly, put on it, really. And I would never want to put any of my videos across in a negative way. It's the comedy. It was bringing up people's spirits in lockdown, and it still is today.
It reminds me of my mother.
Oh, really? That is good to hear. It's good to hear. At least they're relatable.
And you do see across the UK people doing content similar to yours.
Yes.
So how did you did you want to separate it from the rest of, you know, what other people are doing? Did you want to make your series so unique, to separate
What
yourself from what other people are
made,
trying to do? Because it's that competitive nature, and you're going to get it on TikTok with everything. It's quite hard to find
definitely.
a set thing to do on TikTok.
Yeah, I think it was very difficult. And, you know, with any platform, you know, there's a lot of content that are similar. But I think with the quotes that I have embedded in, like obviously the main line, piss off Davina. And I think being unique on TikTok, you know, it really does get you somewhere. And when I first went on the app, like a lot of the creators are doing like dances, and I knew straight away that's not for me. I can't dance to save my life. But I think with the comedy and the skits, you know, it's different, different quotes, you know, and it's just like the typical British comebacks, isn't it? You know, it's what people like.
You know, it's that British humor as well. And do you think
Definitely.
that, because you said TikTok at the start was all dancing, it has changed for the better with this arrival of good old British sense of humor?
Definitely, it has changed. Yes, it's changed a lot, I think, from last year.
I mean, who would you say was, no, that wasn't right. I mean, you know, yeah, that good old British sense of humor, which we all love. More than anything. I mean, you see it on shows like Mock the Week, and you never thought that it would come onto TikTok. I mean, it's
Yeah,
flabbergasting. So I mean, growing up, I want to talk more about, you know, your confidence, which is, you know,
yeah,
it struck a chord with me because I was, you know, the same, and now I'm, you know,
yeah.
getting into presenting, which is unbelievable. Did you imagine, you know, back when you were younger? I mean, talk to me first. I mean, what was your confidence like growing up? And were there any pivotal moments that tested your confidence, that you tried to get it out?
Yeah.
You know, leading up to, you know, TikTok, and actually finding the courage, and I credit you for doing it. For someone like myself as well, can relate to you in that sense of having confidence issues and then getting them out.
Yeah. So I think I would always have said that I was, you know, like the average, never had a lot of confidence at all. And obviously I am an artist, and I have mentioned this on my TikTok. And the first few videos that I did do was on my artwork. And I think it was, I did a coronavirus mural when I first did start the platform. And this is one of the things that I did put on TikTok. And I think with my art combined, as well as TikTok, what I am doing both together, I think this has enabled me, you know, to grow. And I think with like such lovely comments that I have had, I think if it wasn't for such lovely followers with their kind comments and their ideas, I really don't think that I would be able to produce as much content as I could.
Yeah, I mean,
Because there did come a
yeah.
point at the start when I did start doing the skits, and I thought to myself, God, I'm running out of ideas. What do I do? And obviously, the more content I was creating, the more followers and people was viewing my content. And it's from people's ideas, really. It's the confidence, you know, and the positivity that has got me where I am.
I love that word, positivity. It's a real nice word. As well, Davina, is it hard to think of new content to release? I mean, when you're coming up with ideas, would you say that, I mean, what is your creative process? Because, you know, I'm looking at some of these skits that people are doing on TikTok, and I'm thinking,
Yeah,
how can they come up with that day after day after day? It's
yeah.
unreal. I mean, how would you relate yourself when it comes to your creative process, coming up with new ideas all the
Yeah.
time?
I think that is one of the hardest parts to me, definitely. And you don't want to compare your content or have it so much similar to other creators as well. You know, I want to keep this unique aspect with myself. And even with the people's comments, a lot of them are very similar. But I think it's just a matter of trying to find a different topic each day. And I know I have
Oh,
got a
really?
few videos that are similar. And I noticed like specific topics that people do pick out, or the ones that seem to be like my most trending videos.
You know, that's how I found you. You popped up on my For You page, and
Oh yeah,
I love that For You page. You know, it's diverse, it's very
it
diverse,
is.
and
Yeah,
you can just scroll through for days. I think I knew one person that came on the show said when they first started, they scrolled through for about 4 hours, and they said the amount of people that they saw on there just got them hooked. Would you say the For You page definitely hooks people.
Oh yes,
That
I
good.
think it's very addictive. You could be scrolling through that page for hours. You could. It's very easily done,
I mean,
but it's very different. I think.
I checked my limit. I think it was about 5 hours for me.
Oh,
I think
really?
I should have a record in the Guinness World of Records. Person who's
Don't
scrolled
worry.
through TikTok for the most amount of time. Cal Mack. There we go. Um, um, I find that still unbelievable that For You page. But Davina as well. How has TikTok changed your life? Personally, has it helped you? In your personal life, as well as your social media life?
I think it's definitely, obviously TikTok has become like another career for me, basically a side career. And I have gone into collaboration with a few different brands. And I think what really did get me is I never thought anything of TikTok. I was thinking there's so many creators out there, what makes me so much different? And I went to Telford Shopping Centre and I was absolutely starstruck by the amount of people that noticed me there. It's crazy, it really is, because you don't realise how many people are on TikTok.
Yeah, you don't.
It's become such a big thing, but I wouldn't change it for the world, honestly. I really wouldn't.
As well, TikTok really started, gaining fame in the US. But how has the UK really changed TikTok for the better? Obviously the US is, you have big names, but what has the UK done for TikTok, would you say?
Oh, I'm not too sure. I know that it's very good with, like, obviously the LGBT, like all that community, and I think there's a lot of equality on TikTok as well. There's so many different kinds of people, with different personalities, and I think it accepts a lot of people for who they are. I've noticed with so many different accounts, people are expressing themselves how they want to be expressed. Different hobbies, cultures, and I think it's great like that people are so understanding.
Now, going back to when you said that a lot of people notice you in the shopping center, which is great. Do you think that's one of the benefits of TikTok, the fact that people say, it's so hard to get famous, you need to go or you need to start young, and you need to gain a big amount of work to get you recognized? TikTok's revolutionized that. The fact that you can post one video and they're immediately famous. What is your reaction to that?
I think it's so strange. Obviously, I was noticing a positive way, which is good, because I know, like I said earlier, if you can put something on, you could be known for, like, I know people that have put one video on, it's gone viral, and they're noticed for something silly or something bad. But I do think if you're unique, I think you can easily grow your account, very, very big.
And that's what you are, Davina. You are unique in your own way, which is great. So tell me, most memorable skit that you've done, and why did you love it so much? Was it because of the reception that it got? Was it because of your, the work that you put into it? What would you say is your most unique skit?
I think that my favourite skit that I've done has definitely got to be the food tech one. It was all about, obviously, Davina. She's got school the next day. She tells her mom that she's got food tech. 10 o'clock the day before. Obviously, we've all been there, and it's one of those things that we can all relate to, and that is exactly what I try and do.
I forgot all my ingredients. I remember one time we were cooking lasagna. I didn't know how to make it. Obviously, I didn't know how to make it because I never brought the ingredients in. It just says it all.
Honestly, it's terrible. I've been there. It's awful, but it's one of those things that even at school and even after you've left school, we all still laugh about. And that's exactly what I want. It's bringing back those memories. It's something that people can share and be like, oh, Mom, it reminds me of you. And obviously,
it's funny you mentioned that. Yeah, carry on, Davina. Yeah, carry on.
It's like with the hashtag piss off Davina quote. I didn't actually realise what I was doing until a few videos. I'd said it in a few videos, and I checked the hashtag, and it had grown so much. And then I brought out the piss off Davina merch. And that was another thing. And there was children messaging me who have been in hospital or have lost parents, and for them to say that the videos are cheering me up, I've got your cup, it really meant a lot to me. It did.
That's really great, Davina. And
Yeah.
you know, quickly going into school, you mentioned school. I mean, we all have great memories of school. We all
Yeah.
had memories of school. But you know, people are all like, you know, I can't wait to finish school. You know, I want to get out of there. You know, it's pissing me off.
Yeah.
A few years in, every single person, you know, not just in our country but across the rest of the world, they're all like, I want to go back. You know, I miss school. I'm jealous seeing all these kids in school now. I wish I was back there. I mean,
Yeah.
tell me, you know, you feel the same.
I do. Do you know, I always say this. I would love to go back, but I would love to go back just for a week.
And
Just to
promote your
say,
TikTok.
yeah.
You know, they should have a lesson, shouldn't they? TikTok with Davina. They
Oh,
should
they should,
implement that in
yeah.
your school. I mean, you should go there and actually promote it. You should do it.
It's a brilliant idea, yeah. It is. But like when I was at school, TikTok was not even spoke about at all.
Yeah,
Even in sixth form, I think it was probably, like I said, last year for me when I came to like the understandings of the platform itself.